Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the On the Bar podcast.
Hey.
You might notice there's only 3 of us today. Sad, but also it's going to be a party no matter what.
Exactly.
Period. Poo.
As a reminder, this is our second episode. My name is Sierra. Hello, welcome in.
Hi.
I'm Cammy. Tee-hee-hee.
And I'm Stirling.
And if you are new here, this is a little podcast by creatives for creatives, young creative women in the world, young creative people in the world, just kind of talking about our lived experiences, how pop culture, how politics, how anything that's happening is affecting us, our art, and our community. And we are happy to have you here to also discuss and explore these topics. Yay.
That was a beautiful intro.
That really was.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm really good at, can we curse? I forget.
Yeah.
Can we curse? I'm really good at shit talking and pulling shit out of my ass. So thank you. How have you guys been? We were kind of talking about that.
I know, well,
earlier.
Just to back up, I told Sarah that she should start it a minute ago, and she came up with that. I just want to say
Yeah.
that was
Straight off the
impressive.
dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. It's my one true calling is to just speak, which is why I'm here.
Exactly.
A yapper through and through.
100%. But how have you guys been? It's Friday.
It's Friday. I've been waiting on this day. I've been waiting on Friday. I'm good. I'm just tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired today.
Yeah, you started school, right?
Yeah. Second week of spring. Oh my gosh. Second week of spring semester. I still mess it up.
You're good.
Yeah.
How's that been? Your
It's been a
junior
lot.
year?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's just a lot of work. I know it's
Yeah.
going to be good. It's going to be a good semester. I
Mhm.
feel it. But I do know it's just going to be like a thick one.
Yeah.
A really thick one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys? How are you guys doing?
I'm good. I feel like I'm over rested. Like I've had my house to myself the last 2 weeks, so it's been silent, and I've just been super introverted and filling my cup. But it's also at this point I've been alone for too long, and it's getting weird, you know?
She said, that's a little weird.
Exactly. Yeah, my behavior's getting weird. I have to lock in. I have to pick up my dad from the airport tomorrow, so I kind of have to clean and
Yeah.
yeah. It's interesting experiencing just being the only person in your house when you're so used to just the movements of someone else there, and then not to have it. It's nice, but yeah.
Real.
I need more social interaction, so I think this is going to be great, but I also need time to warm up, because I really feel other than work, I'm not speaking to anybody.
Dude, that's real.
Yeah.
I lived alone, quote unquote, a little bit the end of my sophomore year of college, and I would go days without speaking a word. Well, I would speak to people to class, but it was also end of COVID, so it was still Zoom class, so that wasn't real. And then I worked at a Target and at that time, and I just kind of wanted to cry every time I was there. Not actually, I loved my coworkers, but it just sucked.
Work.
It was work.
Exactly.
And then I would just the weekends, if I didn't work, I would just sit, which I didn't mind. But then sometimes you're yo, I haven't said any of my thoughts out loud.
Especially not to a conscious human being. I'll be talking to myself.
Yeah.
I just talk, but no one's responding.
I'll be doing the same. Yeah.
Yo, sometimes I think I'm the best audience for my thoughts.
Yeah.
I think I'm so funny.
No, I think that's great though. Sometimes people can't be alone with themselves. You know what I mean? So the fact that you guys can is really good. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Talk to yourself. Talk to yourself.
Talk to yourself.
I'm having to schedule in time right now to be alone.
To be alone, yeah.
Literally yesterday, I was okay, I have an hour. I at the top of my day, I was I have an hour where I can be alone, and I just need to be alone in my room, shut the door. But it doesn't even feel like alone time, because I can still hear my roommates talking. Does that make sense? I need secluded alone time. But
Where do you think you can find that?
I think I need to just go to a park and just leave my phone in a car and just schedule it in. Just schedule in. This is the time, park time.
That sounds so gorgeous.
I know.
We have some great parks up here too.
Yeah, there's great parks out here.
Yeah, I just forget it's an option, and then it's one of those things where it's like, ugh, I don't want to sit at a park, but then I do, and then I'm like, wow, everything's gonna be okay. Actually, it's gonna be okay.
Yes.
You're so girl who's going to be okay. No, but real, like sunshine, that vitamin D. Whoa, that's real. You feel the sun like warm your face once, and
Right.
life is okay.
One good time.
One good time, and you know life is gonna be okay.
Yeah. We're in the rainy season right now. Do you guys think it's like the beginning, or do you think like just the beginning? Like I feel like it's gonna get so much worse. The rain.
I actually don't think it's gonna get any worse.
Really?
No, I think we're gonna go into another drought. In the whole 13 years we were in a drought beforehand. It was like this. Like it would rain for like 2 weeks, and then it would just be kind of cloudy, and then it would like maybe sprinkle a little bit in like May, and then it would just be dry.
Wow, that's crazy to me.
Did you experience that drought in Orange County?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it was all
it was
the same,
talked
but-
about, but like, we're so separated from what's going on like in nature, just in the cities and the towns and stuff we build, because we have like area, it's like they say it's a drought, but like, do we fully comprehend like, I think that like, yeah.
Yeah. When I first was moved out here and it was like the crazy rains the past like 2 years, that's what I thought like was the norm, that like there would be like a ton of rain all at once, but no.
No, that was like, because I remember when I was younger, and like the drought was like a really big thing, and it really was just like we would get like rain, like we would maybe get like a week of really heavy rain, and then it'd be like this, and then it kind of rains like a little bit in like April and May, and then it would just be kind of like dry and cold. And then because when we got the really heavy rains, I was like, yo, what is this? Come on, Seattle. I was like, this is like the PNW, like this is fun. I love the rain, so I'm having a great time.
I was like, when it was raining, I was like, nobody told me about this. Nobody said that this was happening. Also, everybody told me I didn't need like a big coat to be out here.
No, it's cold.
It's cold.
I think people forget, like, California, ultimately, Southern California is a desert. And what do deserts do? Deserts get really hot during the day and very cold at night.
Yeah.
So people kind of just think it's really hot all the time. But it gets really, like...
Geography.
Yeah. At night, it'd be frigid out here.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Like ecology, it's like a lot of
Yeah.
different ologies.
It'd be frigid.
Ologies.
Yeah.
All
Right.
the ologies. Yeah. What meteorology.
You're about to say weatherology.
I was about to say weatherology. And then I stopped myself. So thanks for calling me out.
I said, no, you're not getting away with that. Not on my watch.
Right.
No.
Right.
Well, I'll embarrass myself a little bit, so we can get off the topic of the weather.
Oh my gosh, really, we were just on the weather.
I love talking about the weather. Sorry, anyways.
So in my alone time, in my seclusion,
In your weird
yeah. I had a friend over from an old job that I used to work at, and we got like 2 wine bottles in, and
what happened?
I texted an old situationship.
Stirling.
Right.
Yeah.
Canon event.
And it truly was like I was drunk, but I even like internally was like, I haven't done this in so long. I haven't been on this behavior in so long, and like fuck it. Like I've been let me just do some mess a little bit, And
Yeah.
yeah. You know what?
I figure you're with the 2 people in the group of 5.
Yeah.
You're with the 2 that's gonna
Be like,
yeah. Woo!
Right. I kind of wanted to see what would happen, and so I also kind of like I want to be a woman in a male dominated field, I want to be the person
Yes.
that just like drops into your life and fucks it up a little bit and then leaves when I want.
That's beautifully said. Beautifully put.
Yeah, I
Well
love
said.
seeing women succeed in male-dominated fields,
thank
and I
you.
think you're doing great.
We're breaking glass ceilings.
Yeah,
And it was because I learned from the greatest.
right.
I have plenty of text. I researched the old texts for this.
Yeah, she said I've done my research.
You
Right.
went on
Know
some
how to go.
expeditions.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I texted him, and I was like, "Hey, like this is also so vulnerable to say that like because I still live at home, you have to like be strategic about like when you hook up if you're gonna bring someone home."
Mm-hmm.
So I hit him with the, "Hey, I'm alone," or like it's like I have the place to myself. That was the cool way to try to like cover up the fact that like, hey, my dad's out of town.
Hey, my dad's not. Oh, you want to come over?
Party at Stirling.
Yeah. And I like didn't really think that he would, but like I just wanted to see what would happen. And then he said, "I'm really busy. I don't think I can make it, but like, how are you though?"
You're like, no.
And that immediately just turned me off. That like gave me the ick. I was like, "You're not being fun."
It's just like I feel like you might have chosen the wrong egg.
Yeah.
Like thinking about
calling him an ex is a stretch.
well, the wrong past person, I guess, is the more PC way we're gonna put that.
yeah.
But just like
fuck buddy.
yes,
Sorry.
yeah, period.
Sorry.
But just like thinking about who he was because we have knowledge of this person and the activities. I just feel like he would have been like, "Oh no,
Right.
what's not?" Which
I
obviously
wouldn't
is what
not
he
like
did.
other boys.
Yeah, he is so.
I want to
he's
get
such
to
a
know
pick
your
me.
soul.
Yeah. Oh my god. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Because if that had gone any further, I think you would be
Yeah.
more in a state of regret and not in a state of giggles.
I completely agree. Completely.
Yeah, how do you feel now having
I'm
gone through?
it was silly. I got the rush that I wanted at the time. I like wanted but like yeah, I'm glad ultimately that it didn't occur.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
like I kind of love. I think I get the most rush when things end like this because I'm like I didn't have to put myself in a situation where I'm uncomfortable with like my
having-
consequences. You
Right,
know.
right.
2, I get a fun story.
Yes.
You have a fun little story.
Yeah.
3, male-dominated fields.
Yeah. I'm still working. I like my ego was hurt a little bit, but like that's the risk you take.
It is.
I would rather yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of there too right now.
Oh,
A little bit.
care to share?
I would love to. Okay. I have to give up some back. Well, okay. I texted my little good friend who I see often. Not often, but who I see occasionally.
Okay.
You know? We're all caught up.
we're clicked.
Okay, are you in with, are you locked in with me? Okay.
We're locked.
Okay. Right. So I texted them yesterday and said, "Hello, dear friend." That's all I said, right? Because I was just like letting them know, "Oh, hey, come over."
Right.
You know?
Right.
Silence. Day 2. We're on now today. Silence. And I think they're upset at me because a week ago I sent them like an Apple Cash request for $100.
Why did?
Like I hadn't talked to them in like a week, in a week and a half, and so I was like, "Oh, this will be funny. I'm gonna send them an Apple Cash request." Right? He fulfilled it.
Right. No, of course.
Period.
Sprinkle.
Right.
Sprinkle. And then we didn't talk after that. And then I called him because I was like, it was weekend, and I was like, "What's the deal? Like, I have a free evening." And he was like, and we were like trying to figure out like if our timing would align. And then he was like, "Are you okay though?" Like I saw the Apple Cash request, and I was like, "Oh, I'm fine."
It was a joke.
It was
bro.
a joke.
It was a bit.
It was a bit. It was a bit. And I think the fact that he was like fulfilling it out of like kindness,
right. Like he thought something was up. Like wrong.
So you took advantage of his kindness.
That's his fault. If he can't take a joke, if he literally can't take a joke, then that's not your problem.
First of all, actually, lie. So, first of all, a real kind person would have said, "Hey, are you okay?"
Right.
Right? He would have
Yeah.
followed up on that. So, first of all, your fault. Not your fault, but his fault. Second of all, yeah, take a joke. Take a joke. He could have got on the whole bit thing. He he fulfilled
Right.
it.
He fulfilled it.
Yeah.
Fulfilled it.
Fulfilled.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it worked.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
no, he's just being sensitive.
So now I'm like, you're mad. You're mad, bro. You're
mad.
You're mad. Women in male
Apparently.
dominated.
No, actually though, but like, why are the roles reversing? Like, why are we?
Mm.
It's like, okay, now we're stepping up. Like, we're like meeting you eye level, and then you want to like take the role of like being a woman. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't think men like looking
Why are
at
you so
themselves in the
sensitive,
mirror.
bro?
You know, they don't want their
Yeah.
actions being played out on them.
Yeah.
Then they're like, "Oh, that's mean." I
Right.
thought we were being funny. I thought I was telling a joke, and now
Yeah.
you're crying.
Now you're crying.
What did we? I laughed when you played the joke on me, but now you're crying. I'm confused.
Meanwhile, I was crying. I wasn't laughing.
Meanwhile,
I was crying.
Meanwhile, I went home and sobbed my eyes out, but
Yeah.
I didn't do it in public.
Is it bad that I'm like, let them cry? Like,
you gotta
It's
cry
their
out
turn.
sometimes. Yeah.
cry,
Okay.
bitch.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
No. Period.
Sorry.
Actually, yeah. Bitch.
Love. No, I don't. I was gonna say love our male viewers. Nah, bro. Why are you here?
This is a woman.
Respectfully.
Yes.
Unless you're a gay bae.
Yeah.
Period. Then you probably, yeah.
I feel like this
Yeah.
is quickly turning into one of those like Joe Rogan, but like women, like Joe Rogan women.
So
like,
true.
Yeah.
Is
Let me
that like
tighten up.
No, like we're all participate. Like
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't think that's, first of all, Joe Rogan is really rich and he has one of the most like viewed podcasts ever.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I don't know about like I'm just stating some facts there, you
Right.
know what I mean? But like it's also just like I don't know. I feel like a lot of like people that are interested in men can but let's say specifically women in like heterosexual situations, because heterosexual men are the worst. And I feel like every woman goes through a point where she just like, fine, I'll do the same thing back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that like men don't like that, because who likes being treated like that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's not like, I don't think it's like we're like out here being misandrous. It's just like, bro, like I'm returning energy and you just don't like it. So it's like,
Mhm.
I
Exactly.
don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah.
Maybe we should like, what do you know?
Honestly, like returning energy is something that I think about a lot. Not only with men, but also just like with racism and like the
Yeah.
but like colonialism, like the whole, not to like bring us here, but I'm going to.
Yeah,
Bring
bring
us
us.
in. Drive the bus,
journey,
right? Yeah.
But yeah, I took a class at CalArts last semester, or like 2 semesters ago, called Radical Black Freedom. And within that class, the topic about like, do you meet violence with violence? Like as a minority, do you meet the violence that is perpetrated towards you? Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Perpetrated towards you with violence? Do you, or is there another option to react to it too? And I feel the same way with like dating and men. Is sometimes like, do we meet them where they're at, or this is with sacrifice too. Like it is with sacrifice for us to like rise above or like create our own world. It is with sacrifice, but I don't know if that's also what we should do. You know, I don't know.
That's very thought provoking. I think like I haven't settled on one correct answer. I think it depends on like the day and the situation, where I'm like, where am I on my like ability to rise above or like meet them eye to eye. And I think what did you come to? Like, did you come to a conclusion on, do you match violence with violence?
With specifically like racism and colonialism, I think that meeting violence with violence in that specific area will only damage me. I think something that I see in with the people that I have encountered that perpetuate racism and colonialism is the lack of empathy, and that is something that I want to stay as far away from as possible. And I know that meeting violence with violence is only going to be detrimental to my empathetic levels.
Right.
So when it comes to that, yes. When it comes to men, I think we're just in a really I think we are in a very interesting time. It's crazy to me that we have all been placed on the earth at this moment to experience this battle that is dating. With how much our society is changing. So I think, and I feel the same way about racism too, and like colonialism, but that there's something new that we haven't discovered yet. I think there's something new with dating. I think there's something new with how to counteract the colony that is America that we haven't yet figured out. And I think the only way we're gonna figure it out is through conversations like this and seeing, because what we've been doing so far isn't working. We're still in the same places,
right?
You know, we're still in the exact same places, in the exact same cycles.
And it just occurred to me, like, most of our experiences have been dating heterosexual cis men. And I think like what you were saying with, like, we're just trying to figure out something new and different and how to approach it. You know, in my experience, not blanketing, all cis what was I
Cis hetero men.
Cis hetero men, yeah. Yes. But like in my experience, there's really no desire to do anything different. And I fear, I don't fear, but like I feel like the direction, at least for me, is like going into, or like dating other people who are maybe like more aligned in like the queer community. And like that'll be a whole journey in itself, but like it just, I resonated with like just trying to find a different solution, a different way.
I also just feel like I don't know, I think every situation that we live in now is unprecedented because the entirety of society now is unprecedented. Like, did you watch Sex and the City? Okay, so fun fact about this podcast, I don't know if Bella did.
What?
Watch Sex and the City.
I'm trying to think. Has she watched Sex and the City?
I think she's like watched an episode.
If not, okay. 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5 of us started watching that show roughly around the same time. So we've all had it like permeate our lives and experiences. But I think that show was so like important and groundbreaking in dating at that time. But even when you think about like the types of men that they were dealing with back then, like when you were talking, just like a thought that I had with cis hetero men that I think has really permeated their ways of thinking and the ways that they go about like socializing and dating is I think men have at large felt more emasculated in the past like 10 to 15 years than they have in like any other decade. Because even in like Sex and the City, you have like a character like Miranda or a character like Samantha who are supposed to be these like powerhouse like gender breaking characters, and the relationships they end up in at the end of the day, like the men still have like their manly roles, like they still have like that gender binary, whereas today I think that gender binary is getting what's the word, challenged, as it should, because it's fake. And because it's fake, and I feel like that's why like we see so many cis hetero men go to like Joe Rogan or Theo Vaughn or Kai Cenat or all these guys that like perpetuate those roles, and in that they have no desire to converse or see women or other people as like real people, because then it like would require them to not live in that binary. It would require them to open their experiences, and that you have to have, I feel like for men, you have to have such a strong sense of like who you are as a man, which I don't think a lot of men do. Genuinely. And so like that's another thing, like I just think it's harder to date in that sense because so many of the men that we deal with now act more childish because they feel more childish because they're living in times where the things that they got told made a man don't like they're not so like what are they now, you know?
Yes. No, that's the thing, right? Like so much of what we wanted as children and like the idea of what we thought our lives would be isn't gonna exist anymore.
Period.
With where our current society is and where things are going, what we were told to dream of, we won't ever have in like the traditional American way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it makes me sad for men. It really does. Because it's not their fault that they're living in this binary. It's not their fault. It's our society's fault. And there's also not any substantial way for like mass teaching of this cultural reset.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
We don't have any accessible way
Mm-mm.
to reach people like this right now. Besides like social media, but then that's where we go back to Joe Rogan is the person reaching them right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's like the person that's perpetuating the same systems that like we were told when we were younger, you know, things like that. I don't know, man. I just think about that all the time. Like I just think the types of like just everything we live under is so unprecedented that like sometimes I'm like I can't even compare like what I'm going through to like what my like cousin who's in her early 30s like went through when she found her husband. Because like finding your boyfriend in 2007 or 8 is different than finding your boyfriend in 2025, you know?
And then that makes me go, all respect to your cousin. What did she sacrifice to be in a relationship with a man? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I recently lost my grandmother. She passed away.
I'm so sorry.
And like she was an incredible, intelligent woman, and she was so influential in my life. But as I grew older, I recognized like she had 2 sons and then a husband, my grandfather. So she was surrounded by men. And she had I could just see that their dynamics, like she did everything for them. She was an artist in her own right, and like I was saying, just super intelligent, could tell you any fact about World War One and Two, and like she wanted to be an equestrian, and she had all of these like dreams, and she saw the world and stuff. But like I saw how much she had to make herself small, and like how the men around her who she even raised, like I know that they love and care about her so much, but like didn't really see her. And even just reading her obituary, it makes me think like the way that they wrote it was her life in context to the men in her life.
Yeah.
You know, like quick little thing about going to college, but then it was like, and then she met and married her husband, who she was with for 61 years. Then she had 2 sons, and she was a great mother and a great, you know, wife and all of that. And like, it just, I've just known from like a young age, seeing that like that was not, I wasn't willing to make those sacrifices, you know, like if that meant that I needed to just stay alone, that's the path that I'd much rather take than, you know, she didn't really quite have the option back then to go off either like societally, but even like legally too. Like she didn't have the option. So it's like now that I do have the option, like I would be doing, it almost feels like a disservice to like her memory to like not. But
kind of I'm kind of not, I don't know if I'm playing devil's advocate or if I'm just being contrarian, but like if we're gonna move the topic onto just more general sense of like love in the context of, let's say, how old was your grandmother
when she passed? 80, 82, 83
so
in her
82,
80s.
yeah, 82 is like a really long period of time. And sometimes like I just was thinking like in the grand scheme of your life, like college and all the ambitions that you do when you're 20 in your 20s and 30s is really, really important. But by the time you're 82, that's 50 years ago. So if you spent the next 60, no, I can't do math. If you spent the next like 40 to 45 years being a loving wife and like mother, do you think that type of love that you experience with your husband, with your children, does feel more important than the things that you accomplished when you were 20?
Oh, certainly. I think in a more broad sense, absolutely. Like that's not to take away the fact that like a beautiful love and like family and those bonds that you build, like that's not to be like discarded at all. It's just in this specific situation, I'm leaving out some things and details that like
yeah, we're gonna say this is like the most ideal situation.
Exactly. In that most ideal situation, Absolutely. Like ultimately it's a balance of both.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're right, like in the sense that like I am thinking about it in a very like you have to choose either or, and I choose this. You know what I mean? So thank you for pointing that out. So another topic that we had of discussion was to talk about our goals and resolutions for this year, or for our life, just ways to get to know each other a little bit better for our viewers to understand our motivations.
Yeah.
Should I start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, you start.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
This year I would like to move out and have a job that pays me more and is in line with my career goals. I want to get out of the service industry, y'all. Like, I need to get out. I've been doing it since I turned 18. You know, my first job was working at a coffee shop, and since then I've hopped around to different ones, but it's time. It's time for me to just make that next step so that I can, I don't know. I can what? I don't really know. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Just so I feel like it's like not really that you can do. Well, I'm sure there's things you want to do, but it's also just like feeling like you've progressed.
Feeling like I progressed.
Yeah.
And I also realized that I'm someone who needs to feel fulfilled in their work in order to keep my attention, to keep me like motivated. Like, I know some people can just, you know, clock into some place that, you know, provides them the money for the lifestyle that they live, and then they can go off and like find meaning outside. I am not that way. I spend so much time at work, and I feel like I need to feel fulfilled, and I'm just not feeling that way in the service industry anymore. So yeah, that's one of my goals. Ideally, I would like to get the job before I move out. We were just talking about this because just why make it difficult on ourselves to, you know, live paycheck to paycheck if that's not like that's just not my situation, you know, so I don't have to. But
what would be like the most ideal job to get? Like, you know?
Ideal job, I don't plan on this happening this year, but ideal job is just being a business owner. Like, I don't want to have to necessarily work for someone else in the traditional sense. I want to be able to maintain like my autonomy and freedom, and like that's also another part of my like just lifetime goals is that I have this vision, right, like of channeling creative and like monetary, like kind of like energy, right, like through me and out to my community. And so I would like to be one of the many people to do that, you know, like just to kind of like keep that energy flowing within my direct community. And so what form that takes, I'm really open to it. I found that like I get further along in my life and my like quote unquote career when I don't have like the job title that I'm looking for, you know what I mean? Like maybe at some point I'll be able to name what it is, but I just know like when I went to school and it was like, I know what I'm doing with the rest of my life is I'm going to be a cinematographer and nothing is going to stop me and I won't feel fulfilled until I have that title, right? That was an extremely like rigid way to look at it, and I chose kind of like a really, let's be honest, like really tough job title, you know, to pursue. And it crushed me when it didn't pan out that way, right? But I'm so grateful that it didn't pan out that way because it opened the door to so many other I wouldn't be sitting here if I got, you know, everything went exactly the way I wanted it to go. So what excites me about life is like I don't know where the path is going to lead. All I can do is just like pour my heart into the things that I'm drawn to in the moment, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that's beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's also very, I think, relevant in terms, especially like in terms of job search in creative fields, especially right now with this job market because it sucks, and being creative in general is really hard. But yeah, it's definitely that idea of like just letting the things that are meant for you come to you.
Right, and not being closed off to things because they don't quite fit into your idea of like what success looks like.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just love that you want to like be a vessel for others too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that energy is only just going to bring you so much more in life. And speaking it in the way you do is just manifesting it through and through.
Yes, thank you.
I love like that we get to be like at the beginning of our careers together, because like in 5 years from now, 10, however long it takes, we're all gonna be on a beach in Cancun, reminiscing about when it all started. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the struggle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I would say, like, I saw a reel about it recently that it was like this guy was saying, like, do you think Beyonce picks up calls for people who are like wanting to be her friend like now?
Right.
No. She's going to stick
Yeah.
with the friends that she had when she was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone that's so important in a creative field is like building community early, because
Yeah.
those, like, we're going to be the taste makers and the decision makers later on in our career, and it'll just be us hanging out with our friends though.
Yeah. Kind of like you've seen Bottoms, right?
Mm-mm.
You've never seen Bottoms?
The
No.
first, like, 20
Oh
minutes.
my gosh.
This is the second time Bottoms has come up for me this week.
Damn.
And I think that's a lot for 1 week. That's all.
I'm adding it to the list.
What is it on?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay. I can make that. I can make
Anyways.
that work.
Anyways, sorry.
No, make your point.
No, I'm gonna make my point. I
Okay.
just had to contain I had to contain myself.
Oh,
for-
I'm making the point.
yeah. Don't worry, I'm getting there. I just had to contain my feelings for a second. Anyways, the director, Emma Seligman, ? Don't know how to say your last name. You're great though. And Io Edebiri and Rachel Sennett, and also have you guys seen The Bear?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the
Well, not the whole thing. Maybe like one episode.
You know the girl that plays there's a girl on there. She plays Carmi's girlfriend. She's also in this group, but they all like know each other from like, I want to say NYU, and if I'm wrong, I don't have the facts, so please fact check me. But I think they only knew each other from NYU. And then like Bottoms was like one of the projects where it was just like these three friends from college like all came together to create what is a really great movie, and I'm so mad you guys have not seen it. It's really funny.
I've seen the first 20 minutes of
It's
it.
really funny, and it's real gay too. It's all queer.
I have a something negative to say.
No, please go.
Sometimes actors don't like that movie. That's it.
It's a good thing I'm not an actor.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Good thing I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
And actually, not say never, but as of right now, no. But anyways, just that vibe of people coming together and creating fun things that they think are fun.
Yes.
What are your goals?
My goals, spiritually and emotionally, like intentions, just to be more balanced, I think, and to feel more like on the path, I guess. Just because to my detriment throughout most of my life, I'm very much like, I have a plan and I would like things to work that way, and at no point ever in my life has it worked out that way, and my life has been pretty great, so like you'd think I'd learned the lesson by now, but I can't help it. Okay, I think about things and I go, hey, this would be really great if it worked out that way. And my post-grad journey so far has not been the most linear or the most easy or the most enjoyable time, but I think this year I just kind of want to focus more on like feeling more balanced at where I am and feeling more confident in myself, just because to be a little vulnerable, I just struggle with a lot of like confidence issues. And I think when I think about all the people that I know in my life that are really successful or exude success, let's say, they're all like very confident people. So like definitely working on that. And I guess materially or like tangible things, I'd like to buy a new car. That's on my goal this year. I'd like to get a job. Somebody please give me a job. I'd like to get a job too. I'm so over working part-time. So over working customer service. I don't want to get yelled at by people anymore. I don't want to have to deal with somebody's sadness because we didn't have maple syrup or whatever that this one lady told me one time, or I ruined her day because we were out of syrup. Like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm over it. I can do it. I have no problem doing it. Well, I guess I have some problems, but I yearn for a position where I get to put my hands on a creative project and work with other people, because I love working in collaboration. Like, I've learned over time that's where I thrive the most, is working with other people and working on teams. Like, I think it's really fun. It's where my creativity thrives because I like bouncing ideas off people, blah blah blah. So I would love to like just work on a team, have my hands in something fun and creative, you know. Like long term, I think it'd be so great to like work red carpets, like
I can see that for
you know, like I have
with a little headset and
like,
a clipboard.
Yeah, like headset, clipboard. Hey, you know what? Maybe one day I'm gonna be like Amelia, what's her name? I can't say her last name, but the blonde British girl that like Andrew Garfield is in love with.
Chicken nugget.
Yeah, chicken nugget girl. I'll be like her. I'm gonna walk the red carpet and I'm gonna just talk to people and I'm gonna have fun. But
you want to do like interview type stuff, like interviewing.
It's
people on the
definitely
red carpet?
something that like has piqued my interest because I like talking to people, but I think I like talking to people in like structured ways. Like, I'm not like Cammie, for example, can pick up a conversation with anybody and have like a 30-minute conversation with them and like figure out their whole life story. And I literally admire you for that so hard. I can't do that. But I do love talking to people. So I feel like structured environments and like getting to people. So I feel like that would be where I thrive. And that would be really fun. Sorry, I started tangenting. But I want a job this year. One of my resolutions is to finally get a position that puts me at least in that realm, in that area, so I can figure out if it is a place for me. If I can figure out if entertainment really is like that industry that I have in my head. Because after 2 years of the entertainment industry continuously telling me, nah, I'm still knocking on the door. So there has to be something about that where I just like, I'm not either not getting the hint or can't give up or whatever. So that's the resolution. And then I really want to go to New York this year. That's a resolution of mine. And I really want to go to some beachy area that's not the U.S.
Brazil.
Yes, Brazil. I'm like really want to go to like Mexico or somewhere. Oh. Like, I just kind of want to like shake my ass on a beach.
Yeah.
On a yacht.
On a yacht in a thong. But yeah,
we do an episode in Cabo.
I mean,
we're like sitting, they're like in a pool, like
yeah.
This is us manifesting.
Yeah,
right now.
Okay. I don't
just
see
make
how
sure
I don't see that.
Everyone envision that.
Yes.
Yeah, I just did.
Call it in. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, universe. Amen.
Yeah.
Both boxes covered. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, what are your resolutions?
Well, one, I want to say keep knocking on the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
The only people that don't make it into the entertainment industry are the ones that give up.
Yeah, I don't have that gene in me.
Amen, sister.
I feel like if I wanted to give up, I would have done it by now. And I literally open up Holly List every day, and I'm like, what little assistant jobs can I apply to?
Yes.
Please give me a job.
And my other thing too, I don't mean to give unsolicited advice.
No, go crazy.
And we're in the complete opposite spectrums of the entertainment industry. But also, and I'm sure you already know this, but the entertainment industry is like who you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
Yep.
So I'm like, let's like go to like networking events. Like, I would be down because like I'm
so down as well.
Talking to someone is how, like, I feel like how you're gonna get that job.
Yeah, I know. I need to like go. I know I need to go to more events. Right now I'm just real annoying on LinkedIn. I'm so sorry if I blow up one day and you go, I think I saw that girl on LinkedIn. I'm so sorry. I have no issue. I have no issue sending you.
You inspired me to make my first post on LinkedIn.
Thank you. Yeah. I have no issue hitting that connect. Hi, my name is Let's Connect. I have no issue doing that. But I do need to do it in person. I just don't know where those events are.
Yeah.
Like, that's my only issue so far, because I would go to more. I just have no
idea
where they are.
Outside. It's literally just being outside.
Yeah.
That's why I be telling y'all. That's why I be inviting y'all out every weekend, because I'm trying to work.
Okay.
I'm being so serious.
Okay, wait. Okay, but you're not. You told me you weren't going out today.
Not tonight.
You told me you weren't going out tonight. So next weekend, let's make a date for next weekend. Okay. Period. Okay. Period. Guys. Just watch.
That's really why I be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Well, That's not the only reason I'd be outside. But that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the times, honestly, every good job that I've ever gotten and every project that I've ever worked on has been because of I knew someone or had met them like outside at some sort of event, whether it be like a party or literally like a flea market or something like that.
See, but that's your talent of just going up to random people and going, "Hi, I'm Cami."
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I receive that. And I also would love to, like, I don't know, help in that area. You know what I mean? Because it's like something that I learned, something that someone taught me, you know?
Until the student becomes the master.
Ooh.
I feel like where we work is a great opportunity to practice that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm an introvert. This is the first job where I've like really like become a yapper with customers, but like it's helped me so much where I'm just like I feel like now I could just talk to a stranger whenever, you know.
Yes.
True.
Yeah, like there are a lot of benefits to working service, you know, one of them being it forces you to get out of your shell. So
Yeah. My little
behind the bar is like a stage. You're like clocking into my
No, because it is.
into
No,
my
it is a
stand-up
stage.
routine, my
It is.
4-hour long
It truly is.
open mic.
No, I told you guys this, my acronym for whenever I'm talking to someone and I don't know what
You have, and I
the
forgot what it was.
conversation-
You have never told me this.
Okay, let me tell you. Ford.
Ford.
Yes.
Okay? Follow Ford. This is like, to anyone that ever struggles like talking to people, this will like help drastically. Okay. Ford. Ford. F stands for family, O stands for occupation, R stands for recreation, and D is dreams. So I go
Beautiful.
through that, I follow that, and I do
Yeah.
it with you guys, like respectfully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like out of
No, that's a great just like talking to
Yes.
people.
It's a great way to get to know someone, and then it's also like everyone wants to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
Like most people are going through the world feeling unheard, unseen, and when some friendly person is just like, "Here's the floor," you know, and just like, don't be interesting, be interested.
Right.
Let someone yap at you and pretend like you don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So they can explain it to you.
Period. Okay.
Absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
that's very helpful. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Also-
it's changed my life.
No, I imagine it'll change mine too. Are we 5 minutes left?
I just want to make sure Cami has the floor
Go.
to get her goals out there.
Let me talk about my goals. Okay. My biggest goal for this year is to like recover in a way and relearn myself. Like I was in a car crash in January of last year, January 2024, and it's been a way like harder process and like way longer process than I thought it was going to be, and has affected my life way more than I ever thought it was going to. And it's like something I talk about almost every day because I deal with it almost every day, right? Deal with like the consequences of it. Before the car crash happened, I felt like very like secure in myself, and I felt like I knew myself really well. And then like over 2024, I like felt really disconnected from myself and felt really like lost, and was dealing with like a lot of depression and anxiety in ways that I had never dealt with before and on that level. And I like have realized over the past month or so like that it's not about going back, because I for a long time I was like I was so good, I was so like I was on my path, I was exactly where I wanted to be, like I felt so good about myself, and then everything went to shit. And for a long time I wanted to get back to that, and now I'm realizing that there is no going back, there is just what like moving forward. And also everything happens for a reason, and I feel I had felt really disconnected from myself, and I was trying to reconnect, and now I'm learning that I need to just learn about who this version of Cami is, if that makes sense. And one of those things for me honestly was I've been feeling like super anxious talking to people, which I don't usually feel. And then I spent like all of 2024 just feeling super anxious talking to literally anyone and everyone. And yeah, so I understand the feeling, and now I do. You know what I mean? But yeah, this year for me is really learning about myself, learning about this current version of myself, and being open to that changing, and not trying to be stuck in who I am and where I'm at, because it's going to be forever evolving, and see like what do I want? Just what do I want in this moment of time? And it's going to change, of course, and trying to let that change be okay.
Yeah, the change being okay is a hard one.
It is.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because we get we feel safe in who we think we are, and then when life inevitably makes us have to rethink it and restructure it, you're like, wait, there's actually no solid ground underneath my feet anymore, you know? But something I learned that helped me, I don't know if this is like helpful or not, sometimes it's also kind of scary, but like that ground was never real to begin with.
Amen.
Like we've always been kind of just floating. It's our perceptions that kind of made us believe that we had more safety than we did.
Yeah, right.
So nothing's really changed.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that's good. Nothing has really.
Yeah.
No, nothing I can say can beat that. I feel like we should just end on that. Okay. No, because like I think that's like the best way to look at it. Because whenever I go through like big change, I just always think about like, okay, I think about all the times before when my life has been really hard, and how right before whatever happened that made my life hard again, I was feeling really good. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a cycle I've gone through millions of times. So there's nothing saying I can't do it again. But I think that is good. But I feel like just knowing that like you're always in constant change. So like if something was going to happen to like make you change your trajectory, or something was going to happen that was going to cause you to change, and it was this, and just like knowing like, okay, now I'm just going through life, and this is just process of life, and it's like it's definitely like finding ways to remember that like what like a car crash or anything like really big that happens in anybody's life isn't like the end all be all. It's just another part of life, even though it sucks.
And like mourning the old parts of life has been really helpful for me. Like, I don't know, like, I hate saying like a million times, but mourning what has been really helpful for me, because it feels like, oh, I'm validating the experiences and the person that I was, and releasing it too, you know, and allowing for change to come in.
Real. Gorgeous. I feel like it's a really good place to end.
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of a yappy episode.
This is my favorite episode so far.
Me too.
No, it was a really good episode.
Yeah,
but, like it just
felt smooth.
It's just as funny because we were like, okay, topics and structure.
Yeah.
And we were like, it's like so focused on that. And the next episode we filmed, it was just like,
I mean,
I think like great. Yeah,
we definitely like
stayed on topic.
Yeah, like we definitely hit the points that we wanted to, but like I like it. It's like a nice blend.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
How like I'm like I'm like
Here, we should do like an outro and then
Right. You want to do it?
You started this.
Oh, I started. Okay. Well, that is everything for today. Again, a bit more of a yappy episode, but we enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope we got you thinking about your resolutions, your life, whether or not you're a misandrist. JK, we're not misandrist here. Maybe. I don't know.
Misandrist.
Friendly zone.
It is.
Or misandrist only zone.
Ooh. Okay. Groundwork has been laid. And we'll see you next week at another episode. And yeah, thank you so much for coming. Bye.